Good morning, dear students. Hope all of you are fine at home. So, taking all precautionary measures whenever is required. So, due to these inevitable situations, we will again use this digital mode or online mode of education and will complete the purpose of education. So, as we have already started with the offline classes, the chapter 10, that is financial statements part 1. Okay, so it's been a long gap, so let me brush up from the beginning, from the scratch, what all things we have covered in the class. Okay, so financial statements part 1, let's begin. The meaning of financial statements. So this financial statement serves as a means of communicating information about the profitability and the financial position of the business in concise and understandable manner at the end of the accounting period. So let us not go in detail about the theory, but it is equally important to learn the theoretical part, which serves as a foundation of any of the methodology of accountancy. So please, dear students, understand the meaning of financial statements. In our day 1 accountancy class itself, we have been discussed about the meaning as well as the definition of accountancy, which says that all this purpose of accountancy will be ultimately to prepare the financial statements, or else we also call it as the primary statements of business, which serves as an economic indicator of the business. Then what do we understand from these financial statements and who are the users of these financial statements? It is also called as accounting information system. I think you students you might be remembering all these concepts whatever we have discussed in the class. AIS or accounting information system, which says that all these financial statements of any business concern will be used by various stakeholders of the business. It could be suppliers, it could be customers, or they might be the competitors, government, as well as general public. Clear? All of their purpose will be different. For example, the customer are interested in the quality of the product, investors are interested in the share value or else the wealth of the business, so that they will get a fair amount of return for their investment, which is their prime motive. And competitors will be interested in the company's balance sheet to know the financial position so that they can accordingly plan. And even the government, ultimately all the business concerns will be paying in the form of tax. So business is amidst of the society and being related with various stakeholders of the society. So from the government, from the auditing part, it becomes compulsory for them to prepare the financial statements for their own purpose, internal management, as well as there are various external users of the business. So let's move ahead. The financial statements, what are they? Okay, these financial statements include the following. Namely, first one is income statement. It is also called as you already aware, trading and profit and loss account. Actually, students, as I already told, trading account is one part, then profit and loss account will be the second part, okay, which are prepared to ascertain the gross profit and net profit or loss during an accounting period. So from trading account, we are ascertaining gross profit, and from profit and loss account, we are ascertaining net profit or loss during an accounting period. So secondly, statement of financial position, that can be ascertained through the balance sheet preparation. Okay, so the first one is trading account, then adjacent to that is profit and loss account, and the third one will be balance sheet. So prepared to ascertain position, that is assets, liabilities and capital of an enterprise at a particular point of time. So ultimately, what do you mean by balance sheet? So ultimately, the aim of preparation of balance sheet is to ascertain what is the asset, liabilities and capital position of an enterprise from particular point of time. So we'll move ahead with some particular terminologies which are important to understand. So that is capital expenditure. Okay, so business transactions are being classified into various items. So first, namely, there are capital expenditure, then there are revenue items and even deferred revenue expenditure. So we'll just, in short, we will be looking at this meaning of each term. The first one is capital expenditure. So what is the meaning of capital expenditure? So there is a definition which explains in detail. A non-recurring expenditure whose benefit is derived by the business for more than a year is called as what? Capital expenditure. We have given various examples in the class also, students, how to identify which are the capital expenditure and which are revenue expenditure. It is based on the duration of the usage of those particular assets, whatever is been purchased. For example, if you have purchased machinery, building, furniture, etc., or else even patents, trademark, etc., that is like tangible as well as intangible assets, wherein the usage of these assets will be more than a year. Clear? So how to define this capital expenditure? The main point is whose benefit is derived by the business for more than a year is called as capital expenditure. Whatever the building of the college or else the furniture which is purchased, benches, desks, table, chairs, all these things are there in the college from many years, right? We have been using all these assets. Maybe the value of these assets may decrease, but ultimately the usage will expand more than a year, which is called as capital expenditure. So ultimately we record in the asset side of the balance sheet. Clear? I hope this term is clear to you. Capital expenditure whose benefit will expand more than a year. Example, it could be purchase of machinery, building, furniture, land, etc. Secondly, the term is revenue items or revenue expenditure. So under revenue item, there are expenditure as well as revenue receipts also. So again, what is this? Routine nature expenditure which are incurred for operating the business smoothly and which help to maintain business earning capacity are called revenue. So what do you mean by revenue students? Revenue expenditure, ultimately, like capital expenditure, here the benefit is exhausted within 1 year. Okay. So it is incurred to maintain the business operation smoothly as well as to help the businessman to earn more, okay, or else increase his earning capacity of the business are called as revenue expenditure. So as they have told, it is a routine expenditure, students. Please remember with any one of the key point. So routine expenditure, it could be like expenses for producing finished goods, such as direct expenditure, purchase of raw material, other expenditures such as rent, salary, repairs, which will be paid periodically, right? Rent, salary, these are paid monthly. Repairs also once in a while, but these all are petty expenditure which are required to maintain the. For example, the purchase of building, it could be capital expenditure. For the same building, whatever maintenance charges we are incurring will be considered as the revenue expenditure. So, is it clear? Please understand the meaning clearly so that you can identify whenever the same transactions repeats in the examination. So, the benefit of these expenses last within 1 year, that is ultimately the time standard is what? Within a year. For capital expenditure, it is more than a year, the benefit is going to exhaust. So these expenditures were shown in debit side of income statement, or else that is also called as trading and P&L account. Clear? So debit side, all the expenditure, credit side, all the incomes. So your trading and profit and loss account will be nominal account as per traditional accounting method rules. The third one is deferred revenue expenditure. So it can be asked for 2 marks, students, for theoretical part. What do you mean by deferred revenue expenditure? The expenditure which is revenue in nature, but the heavy amount spent and the benefits likely to be derived over a number of years called deferred revenue expenditure. So how can we understand this deferred revenue expenditure? So in deferred revenue expenditure, it could be, students, heavy revenue expenditure. It is a kind of revenue expenditure, but deferred means whose benefit can be extended to 2 or more years. It comes in between. Okay, so this amount, whatever they spent, example, it could be the heavy advertisement expenditures. Okay, for Cadbury chocolates, they have hired Amitabh Bachchan for as a celebrity for their advertisement. So wherein the payment will be in lump sum. They cannot show this advertisement payment, whatever they have paid to the celebrities, and they cannot charge it to the P&L account all in a one. So what they will do, for example, around 50 lakhs was paid to him for advertisement. Okay, so all these 50 lakhs they will not charge in a year. So these 50 lakhs will be cancelled over a period of time, assuming that this advertisement benefit is going to be in the long run. Yes or no? So there are so many advertisement, even we see what we have seen in the childhood. Since childhood we are being watching on the televisions. What do you mean by that? And it has in the minds of the public. That means, so that particular advertisement, whatever cost they have incurred on that day will be used again and again. It is retelecasted. Is that clear? So that heavy expenditure on advertisement, or else any newly introduced product, or else heavy amount which is spent on repairs, etc. will be considered as deferred revenue expenditure. I hope the meaning is clear. Okay. Then it comes the other part, that is capital expenditure and similarly capital receipts, revenue expenditure and revenue receipt. So no much explanation is required, I suppose, because the same it is. Capital expenditure means whose benefit will extend more than a year, and similarly here, so those irregular receipts that don't affect the profit and loss of the business, it either increases the liability, or that is raising of loan, or reduces the fixed assets, that is by sale of fixed assets. So it will be shown on the balance sheet. So capital receipts, example could be what? The sale of fixed assets, the building which were sold. Okay, so or else the second hand machinery which is been sold. So by this selling, either they are losing the fixed assets, but at the same time that money will be utilized for the business purpose. So similarly, revenue receipts, which are the receipts in normal and regular courses of business they are receiving from what the sources is sale of goods, that is, or rendering services to customers, income from non-operating business activities. Like non-operating business activities, what do you mean by that? In normal case, the sale of goods will be a normal case, right? The normal operating activities of the business. But non-operating means the income from your investment. You have a FD, okay, you have RD, or else you have a PPF, or else you have invested in any of the mutual fund or else shares. So whatever interest and dividend you are receiving from your other sources like rent received, commission, and etc. will be called as non-operating business. So these receipts increases the profit and shown on the credit side of trading and profit and loss account. Clear? So these are petty expenditures, but as well as revenue receipts are regular course of business receipts from sale of goods as well as non-operating business activities like rent received, commission received, or interest on investment as well as dividend received. So let's move ahead. The types of expenditures can be classified into two types, that is direct expenditure and indirect expenditure. So direct expenses which are incurred on purchase of goods and for converting raw material into finished goods. Direct expenditure means what? Which are directly related with the purchase of goods and which are used for converting the raw materials into finished goods. Okay. Example what? That is manufacturing wages, expenses on purchases, carriage, freight, cartage inwards. These all are the transportation expenditure, students. As well as factory expenses like lighting, rent, rates, etc. So these are called as direct expenditure. Indirect expenses. So the expenses which are not directly related to production or purchase of the goods are called as indirect expenditure. So they are not related to manufacturing, but they are required to increase the sales. It could be office administration, selling and distribution expenses, then financial expenses. Financial expenses means like interest paid, commission paid, okay, loyalty paid. All these kind of expenditures are called as indirect expenditures. So you have to understand these two concepts only with one key terms, that is direct expenditures are related directly with manufacturing of the goods. Indirect expenditures are not related to production, but they are related to office administration and selling and distribution. So these expenses are shown on the debit side of profit and loss account. Since this is an expenses, as per the nominal account, debit all expenses and losses, credit side all the income as well as gains. So there is a formula. Please make a note of this formula, students, because already we have solved problems on these formulas, based on these formulas. Gross profit is equal to net sales minus cost of goods sold. Then cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus net purchase plus direct expenses minus closing stock. So you will come to know how these formulas were arrived when we are seeing the format. Then operating profit is equal to net sales minus operating cost. So as of now, just have a glance as well as just take down these formulas which are required to solve the problems on 4 marks. Or else alternatively, even gross profit minus office administration as well as selling expenses. Then operating cost is equal to cost of goods sold plus administrative expenses plus selling as well as distribution expenses. And net profit is equal to operating profit plus non-operating income minus non-operating expenses. Operating expenses is what do you mean by that? These are the expenses which are related to the normal activities of the business like office administration, selling and distribution are called as what? Operating expenditure. So already I think you have taken these formats in the offline classes. Just for your references, again I have uploaded. So if you have not taken so far, please copy in your fair notebook along with the other theoretical part. So trading account, what is the meaning of trading account? So this is the account which has been prepared to know the gross profit of the business. Okay. So which gives the overall result of trading. What do you mean by trading? That is nothing but buying and selling of goods. So it explains whether buying of goods and selling them has proved to be profitable for the business or not. So if you get, that is gross profit, see here, this is a debit side and this will be credit side. So again I'm just repeating, debit side with all the direct expenses and credit side all direct income. Clear? So obviously, if the income is more than the expenditure, the resultant factor will be gross profit. If not, if the debit side is more, that is expenses is more, then the resultant factor will be on the other hand, that is gross loss. So please have a glance on all these items. To purchases, then if there are any returns, okay, that is called as purchase returns. And on the credit side only these items will come, that is by sales and sales return. Always you remember this format. Whenever there is a purchase, you have to find out whether there is a returns given in the problem. And ultimately the broad class heading is direct expenses. So out of all these items, any of the items can be taken in the example. Clear? So the next one is balance sheet. I think so. Balance sheet wherein P&L account will be shared later. I think already it was uploaded and it was missed here. So just go ahead. Assets and liabilities. Asset side, balance sheet is a composition of assets and liabilities we have studied in the definition, right? So just look at the liability side, share capital, and your share capital, add net profit or loss. What you got from the profit and loss account, you have to add here. If there is a loss, you have to deduct. Then if there are any drawings means amount withdrawn for personal use. Then long-term liabilities, debentures, all current liabilities, then provisions, etc. will be recorded. Asset side, fixed assets, then investments, and under the main heading current assets, all these items will come. So ultimately your balance sheet should get tallied. So that is the main purpose of your income statements as well as balance sheet. So then only, otherwise you have to rectify where the mistake has happened. So with this, we'll conclude this class by wherein we have studied the various terms and techniques of preparation of income and expenditure account, then balance sheet. So have a glance. In the next class, we'll study with the problems related to 4 marks as well as 12 marks. Thank you.